SFX candle flicker, distant thunder. This file was never meant to be opened. It holds a story so dark, so chilling, SFX, whispering voices that it was sealed away. SFX, thunder rumble today, July 25th, 2025. We break that seal. Inside is the truth about the Speckled Band, a tale of fear, greed, and a whisper in the night. SFX, snake hiss, whisper.
The air in my Baker Street rooms was thick with smoke and silence. SFX, clock ticking. Thunder. Dr. Watson sat opposite me, curiosity in his eyes. Suddenly, a carriage stopped outside. SFX, carriage wheels, rain. A frantic knock echoed, a desperate plea for help. SFX, knocking, urgent whisper. Mrs. Hudson opened the door to reveal a woman, pale and trembling.
Mr. Holmes, she whispered, you must help me. I fear for my life. SFX, whisper, wind gust.
The game was afoot, but this was no game. This was a matter of life and death.
The city outside slept, but something wicked was awake and coming for us. SFX, distant thunder, ominous wind.
The shadows in the room seemed to hide secrets, just like the case that had arrived. The night was filled with sharp tension. The woman was Miss Helen Stoner. She told us of her twin sister Julia's mysterious death. Her last words, it was the band, the Speckled Band. SFX, whisper, snake hiss. No marks, no explanation, only terror. Now Helen was engaged, and the horror had returned. She'd heard a low whistle at night, just as Julia had before she died. Repairs forced her to sleep in Julia's old room, next to her stepfather, Dr. Roy Lotz. Dr. Roy Lott, a violent man with strange Indian animals, was feared by all. She begged us to come to the mansion and uncover the truth. I promised we would not let her down. We prepared to face the unknown. SFX, thunder, wind, snake hiss. No marks, no explanation, only terror. Now Helen was engaged, and the horror had returned. She'd heard a low whistle at night, just as Julia had before she died. Repairs forced her to sleep in Julia's old room, next to her stepfather, Dr. Roy Lotz. SFX, low whistle, wind.
If you love Unsolved Holmes cases, subscribe now for more dark mysteries. SFX, whisper, click.
Watson and I arrived at Stoke Moran Manor, a decaying house under a stormy sky. SFX, thunder, rain. The place felt wrong, filled with silent menace. With Dr. Roy Lott away, we investigated Helen's room, the scene of Julia's death. The bed was bolted to the floor, and a bell rope hung nearby, but it was a fake. SFX, wind, creaking floor. A small ventilator connected Helen's room to Dr. Roy Lott's. Why a vent between rooms? It was a secret passage, not for air. SCXS, whisper, wind. In Roy Lott's room, we found a saucer of milk atop a safe and a strange, thin leash. No cat lived there, so who was the milk for? SFX, snake hiss, suspenseful music. The clues pointed to a horrifying method of murder. The milk, leash, ventilator, fixed bed, and fake bell rope formed a deadly puzzle. SFX, puzzle pieces. Whisper, a silent predator was being sent through the vent at night. The danger was real, and it came from Roy Lott's room. We had to act before Helen became the next victim. SFX, snake hiss, thunder.
That night, Helen hid elsewhere while Watson and I waited in her darkened room. The silence was tense, broken only by the wind and the ticking of my watch. SFX, wind, ticking, heartbeats. Suddenly, a low whistle came from Roy Lott's room. We stared at the ventilator, hearts pounding. SFX, low whistle, heartbeat, snake hiss, then a snake, yellow and brown. The Speckled Band slithered through the vent and down the bell rope. It was a swamp adder, the deadliest snake in India. SFX, snake hiss, slither. The plan was clear. The snake would bite Helen as she slept. I struck the bell rope with my cane, startling the snake. It hissed, turned back, and vanished through the vent. SFX, cane strike, snake hiss. Rush moments later, a terrible scream erupted from Roy Lott's room. We rushed in to find him dead, the snake coiled around his head. His own weapon had turned on him. SFX, scream, snake hiss, thunder. The danger had ended, but the horror lingered. Justice had come, swift and venomous. The truth was revealed in the dead of night. The case was nearly closed. SFX, wind, whisper.
Dr. Roy Lott's greed was his undoing. He killed Julia to keep her inheritance and planned the same for Helen. The snake, trained to kill, became his executioner. SFX, thunder, snake hiss. The low whistle was his signal to call it back. We had saved Helen and exposed the truth. The old mansion could finally be a home, not a prison of fear. SFX, whistle, liberation music. Justice was served, not by law, but by the very darkness Roy Lott unleashed. The case of the Speckled Band was closed, but its memory would haunt us. SFX, dark music, whisper in the shadows of Baker Street. More mysteries await. Evil often destroys itself. The city never sleeps, and neither does the darkness within it. SFX, city ambience, ominous music.
Subscribe for part 2 and join us for the next darkest case file, SFX, Whisper, Click, Thunder.